Second, let me actually pull this up and share it on social media. They'll probably see it over there. They probably gonna be talking shenanigans, but it's all good. So usually, like when I get started here, right? So I go on here, see, and that's all they see right now. Like, what the hell? Okay.
Your internet gotta be like perfect to be on this shit. Cause if not,
I gotta unplug this shit all the time for that reason. It should be wildin'. But anyway, I come on here and like share it on Facebook. There we go. So yep, just hit post. I said done to both, whatever. Then I hear is easier because I just got a button for Twitter. It'll just do like an auto post and all that. And yeah, man, that's just pretty chill. You ready?
you good?
All right.
Yeah.
It's all good. What's going on, guys? We're live here. I know I'm not back till Monday, but we wanted to do a cool podcast. I got my brother-in-law here in the house. We usually have like really good conversations behind the scenes, and I just thought it'd be cool to like let y'all hear that shit. So that's what it is. So here he is. Welcome. All right, they see you now, man. Say what's up.
What's up, man?
How you feeling, man? Good. Okay. He's a little nervous. He'll break out. He'll break out. So I wanted to ask you, man. How do you feel now that 2020 is over? How exciting is it?
It's exciting, but it's like it's another day.
It is, absolutely.
It's just the year of 2019 was tough.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, it was tough. You know, a lot of people got through it.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people had to go through a lot of things. Like I did.
Yeah.
I got sick with the virus.
Mm-hmm.
I had a lot of ups and downs as far as like getting things together.
Mm-hmm.
Like as far as figuring a couple of my next steps as far as like what I'm finna end up doing. The goals. I had some fallouts with some people that I thought were in it with me for the long run, which was like
frustrating.
When I was building my team up together from like already for a couple years already. Like they just, we had some falling out. But other than that, I'm ready for the future. Like I was thinking of having a couple business things done before the end of the year. We had a couple delays, but I'm excited. I'm excited because we're moving forward in a great way.
Right.
And yeah, it was a tough one, but we can always, how you say that,
you made progress.
There's nothing that we can't withstand as far as like as people. Like we will always progress if we make sure our minds are set to it. Like
right. Well, that's one thing I respect, man. I feel like with how you started off the year, like a lot of men, obviously I don't want to put out too much of what you got going on, but a lot of people don't know, like a lot of people got the virus and they stayed home and dealt with it and got beat up. You had to be hospitalized a couple days and stuff like that. But I felt like you finished the year pretty strong for somebody, with all due respect, who shouldn't have. Like you did really well. You know what I mean? And so it's good that you're proud of yourself in that aspect. For somebody who's like, there's a lot of people struggling right now, and I think more mentally than physical, as crazy as that sounds. Like, I think this virus messed a lot of people up more mentally. What helped you get over that hump? Besides, doing it for your family and your loved ones and stuff like that. What helped you get over that hump? And did you feel like you performed better knowing what you could have lost?
Oh, absolutely. So when I got sick, so it wasn't just a couple of days. It was
quite a few.
I was hospitalized for like 4 days. I was actually hospitalized for a week.
Yeah. I know you left and came back.
Yeah, I came out for 3 days. Bro, it was scary because
it was.
What's crazy? Like we talk about this now, but I was just talking to my brother about an hour ago, and he thinks he got the virus.
Right.
In like February or March.
Yeah, because he was deadly sick.
Really bad. Yeah, he was in the hospital for like almost a month.
Oh, and shit.
For like 2 weeks of that, the doctor told him, he was just telling me like, after 7 days, the doctor said, if you don't get better in 3 days,
Yeah.
we're going to perform an emergency surgery.
Shit.
And if that doesn't work out, we're going to have to tie our hands because
Yeah.
you're going to die.
Right. Absolutely.
Like, he was having pneumonia and all of that. So
Shit.
he was in a situation which what sucks is that I didn't get a chance to go see him in the hospital
Well, they
because
won't let
I
him.
was so busy.
Yeah.
And which is no excuse whatsoever.
Right.
But at the time, my parents weren't in the country.
Right. Right.
They were out, and then when they got in the country, it was like they helped me relieve the stress of where they wouldn't be able to go see him and take care of him.
Right. Right.
So that was the biggest issue. Like, and then me and my brother got things going on together.
Mhm.
So when he got sick, I was taking him.
Carrying his load.
Yeah,
Yeah.
carrying his
Absolutely.
load.
Yeah.
But we were always in communication. So when I got sick, it's hard because he tells me mentally he don't know how he did it.
Right.
Because it's a scary situation. Like,
It is.
The virus is not no joke.
Yeah. It's not.
Yeah.
Especially when you have doctors telling you like, I can't tell you how this is gonna come up in the next 3 to 5 days.
Yeah.
It's scary because if the doctor doesn't know, that's scary as shit for a
Yeah.
patient. It has to be.
That's very scary. Like, and the thing is, like, I get, like, there's a lot of people that say, "Oh, it's the government." I was like, whatever the scam or the topic is, as far as that,
Yeah.
that's cool. But I just know what we went through.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I know that we really did get sick. Like,
Right.
my brother got sick, and he was telling me it was scary for him. He felt like he was gonna die.
Right.
A couple
Absolutely.
times, like, he was having a hard time breathing.
Right.
So when I got sick, I was telling him, like, after the week of me being in the hospital that they told me I could go home,
Mm-hmm.
I was having a hard time breathing at home.
Right.
I would stay up at night not to go to sleep because I was afraid that I might not wake up the next day.
Right.
So, like, not being scared to that point was not necessarily that I was afraid of, like, anything of dying because like I know God's gonna take care of us regardless. Like,
Right. Right.
He got my family in His hands and all of that. Like, I get that there's purpose with all of us. Like, and not that I was afraid of dying, but it's just I feel like, dang, I'm scared I'm gonna pass away now when I know
When you're in the
that
brink
it's
of
not
things.
ready.
Yeah.
I know it's not my time, and it's
Right.
like, and that's where it was at. Like, so, and I went back a week. After
Yeah.
that. Like, when I was, what was it? The third day at home, I was checking my oxygen
Yeah.
with the machine at home, and I was like, man, this is low. So I
Yeah.
called the doctor.
Right.
The doctor said, give it one more day. If it doesn't go back, he sent me some medicine. He said, do this. If it doesn't go, call me. I said, I'm going to call you tomorrow. So he called me the next day, the doctor, and I told him, well, everything's still reading. He said, no, look, go call the ambulance. Matter of fact, don't go to the hospital. Call the ambulance. Tell them this and that. We'll see you at the hospital.
Right.
And he goes, I'm going to call them too.
Right.
To get them to your house. So I get on the phone with the ambulance and they get there.
Right.
The paramedics get there. They end up coming to me at the door and they're like, you're breathing and you're walking. Supposedly your oxygen is that low. If your oxygen is really that low,
You're not supposed to be doing either one.
doing
Yeah.
I can't be talking to you right now.
Right.
If it's that low, we're going to intubate you
Right.
to take you to the hospital. He goes, I'd rather you just drive to the hospital.
Right.
The moment you get on the ambulance, I have to intubate you.
Absolutely.
By our regulations.
By law, if you tell them you having breathing issues,
he
they
goes,
got to.
And I was like, no, you know what? I'm going to go to the hospital. Somebody's going to drop me off. So they take me. I get to the hospital. And they rush me in there.
Mm-hmm.
They were waiting for me already.
Right.
So mentally, at that state, I'm like, okay, I ain't trying to be here for another week.
Right. Right.
But it was, what happened was me being there made me open me up a little bit to like, I got to get over this mentally for my family because this isn't cool. Like,
Right.
The third day of me being in the hospital after that was depression.
Yes.
Super depressing. Can't nobody come see you. You can't do nothing. Like, bro, I felt like I was locked up.
Absolutely.
And not that I've ever been locked up, but I already knew what I said. Man,
No, absolutely.
they coming to feed you. The only person.
But it makes you feel like I mean, I'm not saying they're treating you like you're locked up, like they treat an actual prisoner, but you have no freedom.
No.
I mean, technically, you're
Yeah.
you're locked up. You know what I mean? It's just not as intense.
Yeah.
But Josh, thanks for the raid, man. I appreciate you swinging by, man. But that's the number one thing that people don't realize. Like the conversations me and Ashley have, like behind the scenes, are mostly about that. Like we see all these people on Facebook, and all over social media talking about, don't be an idiot, wear the mask, like all that stuff. Like I'm for the wearing the mask movement, especially somebody who experienced it. Like I experienced it myself in April. Thank God I only had breathing issues for a day and a half and stuff like that. So it wasn't as intense as I've seen other people go through it. So I'm all for it. It's just that mentally I'm over that shit. Like I'm over, like, bro, today we went to the outlet mall. And like even in between stores, like you gotta have the mask on. Like they're just so, and that's the portion that like I'm just over. But at the same time, like this taught a lot of people a lot of things. One thing, I think this pandemic, I'm not saying it needed to happen because man, a lot of people passed, and that's a real sad thing that as many people passed away as they did. But it really goes to show you like how much this country can be stopped, like just like that. You know what I mean? Like
everybody gets scared ASAP, and then it's like, okay, we can't.
Everything is done. They shut down. Like there's a lot of people. Like the amount of small businesses that closed this year, last year was the thing that saddened me the most. Like there's people who like weren't rich, but they were doing okay, but they didn't have 6 months worth of income saved up.
No.
Like they just didn't, And I mean that part for me does it, man. Like it does it quite a bit.
That's a lot of things that of like I'm not that I'm fortunate. I'm glad that I've gotten the knowledge to understand a little bit about business and saving up.
Yes.
Like and putting away for the rainy days. As far as like just for my immediate bills, like I'm a risk taker. I'm a big risk taker. Like, I've taken a lot of losses. Like
right.
But I understand like I have to put away for my family.
Right.
So it got us by as far as like what I did.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, there was times where I do live paycheck to paycheck throughout the year because
right.
Man,
well, sometimes they're tougher than others.
Yeah. Sometimes tougher, but, like, I always bounce back and recover. And the whole point of this part, like of what we've been going through, is like how I could say that what held me over was understanding that pain is temporary. Like what I went through this year was tough.
Yeah.
But it still doesn't compare to what I went through 4 years ago.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I was like, I knew, this was a little depressing, was a little over the top. Like, what sucks is that we were trying to, like, I was on the verge of overcoming all my losses this year to be able to bounce back heavy. Right. But then the shutdown happens. Like, I got a lot of partners of mine that own barbershops, that own this, like, they had a struggle. But then at the same time, I got partners that during this year opened up barbershops, like opened up businesses. They were able, it still gave opportunities for other people through the struggle. Like it shows like how diamonds are made. You know what I'm saying? Like everything is made under pressure. Right. Like it proves that this shouldn't stop nobody.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Like, it's just like us, like what I got going on, like we put together a trailer at the end of last year.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of 2018.
Right.
And we were working on putting a mobile detailing trailer.
Right.
And I got it together already by February, March,
mm-hmm.
and everything else doing it by ourselves.
Right.
But now look at us now.
Yeah.
We got a location.
Yeah.
Like, and we're working on like actually progressing to the next step.
Right.
So this shouldn't stop nobody. Like, don't let this, like, because we're still early for this. Like,
absolutely.
We're about to have probably another wave of people really getting sick, like supposed virus mutated and all of that.
Which makes no sense to me.
Yeah. It makes so we're not out of the mist, but like at the same time, I felt like
we've been through a trial run already. Yeah. We should be better prepared this time around.
We should have taken a little bit of the lockdown a lot more serious.
Absolutely.
Like other countries.
Oh, the other countries were intense about it.
Yeah, they were real strict about it, but look at them now.
Yeah.
They're not dealing with this.
They're not. Dude, when was it? December 17th, 18th? Wuhan, China had their first soccer game. Stadium was full. Not a single person sick. It was just so much easier.
And the thing, China's serious about like. I was speaking.
They got 1 billion people, bro. They got
Yeah,
way
yeah,
more people than
yeah,
us.
They stack on top of each other. Like my buddy, he was telling me that his close friend went out there to China recently, and what they're doing, you get off that plane, you're mandatory quarantine.
Yeah,
but he goes, they're not going to put you in a bubble. They send you to a hotel.
Right.
You can't come out your room for 2 weeks.
Right. Oh wow.
Their food is breakfast, lunch, and dinner is delivered to the door.
Wow.
So don't come out. Now they probably let you roam the hallway. But if not, they can arrest you. But they're strict. But being that strict for a short period of time,
it's better
to have your freedom in the long run is
absolutely
worth it. Like, which I feel like a lot of people out here in our country, they always want freedom. Like, I mean, not saying that. They came out of wrong. They want freedom. Yeah, I want freedom too. Like, I'm all about our rights. But like, we had to understand, like, for the better cause.
Right.
Like, we should have at least respected.
Oh yeah.
Each other enough to understand, like, yo, we gotta stay home for a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, it's not necessarily we weren't 100%. Like a communist country where we're locked down to the point.
And we're not being told what to eat and shit.
Yeah. But at least we understand, like, all right, we got to lock down.
Yeah.
Let's get this going. And then at the same time, I understand where other businesses was like, if we close, we really going to be screwed. Like, and that's where I feel like our government didn't come through.
No, absolutely.
In a lot of things.
Absolutely.
Like, there was points where the SBA, like, came through for certain things, but then the requirements became harder. Like
it did, but I mean at the same time, like a lot of people, you know, and I've only seen like 1 or 2 situations myself, but I could only imagine how many more it was countrywide. A lot of people, when they got that check for help, they were at the point where they had already closed. They're using that check now to find a new location, kickstart all over again, like start over. Which that's also, like, to me, I've been fighting the whole shutdown thing only because of those small business owners. But in reality, if people are scared to go outside anyway, they're going to struggle. They're going to struggle anyway. If our government guarantees they're going to help these businesses out, I'm all for a close down. Like, absolutely. Give these time people to sit at home, re-strategize, because this economy is going to be completely different than it was the last 20 years. Yeah. Like, 100%. But
and the thing is also, it's not even that it's going to be a bad thing, but
no, it's not a bad thing. No,
the economy is definitely going to be different.
Yeah,
but we're still progressing. Like, there's still houses being built, people are still moving. There's jobs still being provided. Like, yeah, there's a lot of people out of work, but a lot of people take advantage of this and be like, yeah, I'm not gonna work.
Yeah,
I just want the government.
There's a lot of people do this.
Man, look, bro, the government can help us out, can keep on, can do a lot of good things for us, but a lot of people become freeloaders.
Yeah, and that's draining.
Yeah,
it is draining.
And it drains the people that really need the help. That absolutely need the help. Like, I believe in a lot of things. Like, I'm a go-getter. Like, if I can get the help and I need it, like, don't get me wrong. Like, I needed the help a couple times during the year, and I did ask for the help. You know, and I got it. But at the same time, if I don't need the help, I'm not going to.
Absolutely not.
I pay taxes. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not here looking for the handout.
Right,
you know,
right.
But if I need the help, I need the help.
Yeah.
You know, but if the government just handing everybody a check,
yeah,
you want to hand me one out too? Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but I'm not going to be an idiot and just go blow it at the malls on
right.
I don't need. Like,
exactly.
I'm going to make sure some of my bills all of my bills get paid.
Yeah, even if it's ahead, just in case something goes wrong. Yeah.
Get ahead, like get the safety net back up.
Right.
Because then if something does happen where they're going to be like, yo, we're gonna become something else, then all right, I gotta understand that.
Do you? I mean, I kind of had that feeling where it might be. Do you feel like we're about to see a new evolution of business owners in the next 3 to 5 years after this? Like, I really do think that the economy is gonna switch. Definitely, you know, I still think there's a lot of the bigger businesses are gonna be fine, and I don't mean like corporate chains. I mean like, you know, somebody like down the street. There's a steakhouse that's like a real high-end steakhouse. I think they're going to be fine. They're luxurious. They made money. But I feel like we're going to get a lot of things that we haven't seen before. Like a lot of these independent online-only shops like might actually end up opening shops Like, that's what I'm interested to see myself.
Like, what? See, that's the thing. Like, we don't see a lot of that stuff over here on this side of the coast because, like, everything's a little bit more distant. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you go to
You don't have as many ambitious young folks on this side either.
Yeah,
It's all retirees.
There's all types of shops.
Yeah.
So like, you know, they got an online store, but they actually got a spot.
Yeah.
Like go up further northern, like all the populated cities, like New York, like they already popping up. They've been popping up. So I don't think it's gonna be that the game is changing.
Right.
The game is still the same. It's just we're gonna evolve certain aspects and bring out things that
haven't been done before.
That haven't really been seen on other areas, like. And be more creative. Like I feel like a lot of people are going to get more creative to do certain things as far as in business and succeed off of it.
Right. I mean, that's what you said to me was true, man. Like I really wish Florida had more of what California does, and I don't mean law wise because that's crazy over there right now. But I think like when I went to Cali, you were 100% like there will be locations where they'll just be like a parking lot dedicated to like food trucks. There's like 10, 15 food trucks, and there's so much variety there. And I love seeing that because we know those guys aren't paying much for that little lot, but they're still a thriving business, and I think it's awesome. Like, and that's one thing. Here, this is a retiree state. Like, people are okay retiring at 50 years old and going to the same restaurant every Friday for the next 20 years. But that's fine because it builds your community. Like, I'm all for that too, you know. But I would love to see, like, more ambitious folks, like, doing different things, you know, like in this economy. I just think it'd be dope.
It's like the thing is, Tampa, this side of Florida, like it's a little bit still laid back.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of things going. There's a lot that can come up and happen. Like you got in downtown Tampa. Go look at it now. It's not the same what it was 2 years ago.
It wasn't. It wasn't.
Like you got a lot of younger crowd coming in there. Like I got a buddy just opened up a breakfast spot where they sell cereal milk.
Oh, nice.
That's in Cali. That's big in Cali. Like,
cereal milk.
like,
yeah.
So,
I've had that shit before.
And they got pastries and they got like breakfast. So like he's got something going on. And I tell him all the time they'll pursue that, bro. Like you got to really get it big. And
by the way, guys, cereal milk is epic. Like like people don't get like for those who don't know, cereal milk. It's like when you've been eating your bowl of Lucky Charms, and then at the end, like you drink that milk with the Lucky Charms residue that's been sitting there for like 3 to 5 minutes. Like they actually sell it in a bottle, like Lucky Charm flavored cereal milk.
It's real simple, bro. They give a bottle.
Yeah.
They put the cereal in it.
Let it marinate.
Milk, and they shake it. They let it sit for a little bit, and then they drain.
They drain the cereal out.
Yeah. They drain the milk out, and then they add sugar constantly.
That's it. Yeah.
And that's it. Like it's not gonna last more than a couple days.
Yeah.
That
shit is delicious.
Yeah. Delicious.
Absolutely.
Somebody that could just provide that real quick.
Absolutely.
Snack, you know,
but that's brilliant to do it in downtown because I would say a good population of people who work downtown that's so fast paced, they don't got time to make breakfast shit at home.
No.
It's brilliant. Like it's a brilliant location to put that shit on. Like
So like, and that's the
cereal
thing.
milk.
A lot of things. I think Tampa, we about to go forward. Like because our generation, our crowd is pushing a lot of things.
Yeah.
And is asking for a bigger demand.
Yes.
Like, it's not like Kissimmee.
Yeah.
You got areas like that's out there like Cali, like you got food truck spots. Like some of the bigger cities,
it's definitely more ambitious city for sure.
Some of the cities that have been about it. So like we're still Central Florida to the West Coast of Florida, but like it's still a lot more. There is an older crowd on our side of Florida.
100%.
Like because go towards Spring Hill, you go towards Brooksville. Like all that whole coast, like I mean, not that that's necessarily coast, but that you're not too far from the coast,
right?
Like we're Central Florida, but close, so like we're still on the. We got a lot of older crowd. Like,
absolutely.
That's true.
No, we're not good.
We will definitely get to that point where we will have a lot of younger business.
I think we're getting there, man. I honestly don't think though, like this country is not gonna have like a major shift in change until, and God forbid, I'm not trying to kill anybody off, but until these congressmen and all these people that have been congressmen for 40, 50 years, until they're out and we replace that whole generation of older generation, like, you know, once like the next generation, the next 35-year-old becomes a congressman or a governor or something like that. Like, we're not going to get these changes until that evolution happens in politics, which I think we're almost there. I think we're getting closer. It's crazy how long these guys last, though.
But it's like everything. Like when, like people, like not saying the generation before it's like my parents, but like the people are like 5, 6, 7 years older than us. That we're just following their footsteps a little bit.
Right.
When they get to the position where they can start throwing money at situations, or like people like us, like if we get successful enough to where like we'll try to sit down with people in power and be like, hey man, this is really what can happen for the better. And it's just opening up their eyes. Like, I feel like that's where it comes down to, because that's really what has happened every single 4 years or something. Like, they get influenced a certain way. Money gets thrown to them a certain way. Like, people are backdooring deals and be like, hey man, I'm gonna throw this much for you. Like, try to push this law to happen.
Exactly.
You know, like that's.
Well, people don't realize that's how it happens behind the game.
Yeah, behind the scenes, like, and money talks, bullshit walks. So like, when they're like, yeah, I'm about to retire, man, but you about to offer me $1 million or a couple hundred bands to go do some, to go try to pursue this or persuade this. They're gonna want that much too. They're gonna want that much too. Like, that's how a lot of the laws get changed. Like, and not saying that we're 100% corrupt. Like, there are things that.
But the people do things to shift stuff in their favor. Yeah. I mean, but that's what money does. Like, they'll make stuff that on paper sounds illegal, you know, but because they put a bill, now it's legal. It's still wrong, but you know, it's just legal now. Yeah, because Gary Vee used to talk about that shit all the time. Like, he had like his liquor business, which, by the way, great business to get into. Liquor is extremely cheap to buy, and they sell very expensive because it's a luxurious item. Like, so he used to undercut all the major manufacturers by like $5-10 just to get the business on his side. And like, once he reached the point where his net worth was $1 million, they changed the law to where he couldn't input from the south part of Texas, and suddenly his business crashed. Like, because politicians blocked off like his trading imports.
Somebody else got mad that he was making money.
Exactly.
Undercutting his business. Hey man, we need to make a law to stop him from making money.
Exactly. You know, and they'll come up with like theories like, oh, it's for border control protection something like that. Yeah.
Somebody else paid them something. You know?
That's all it is. But this COVID bill kind of did the same thing. Like, people are happy about getting $600. Like, there's so many laws in that COVID bill that people don't know about. That, like, for example, right now, if you ever seen on Facebook where somebody's like goes live and shows a pay-per-view boxing fight from their phone, that's a felony now. That's now officially in that COVID bill. That shit became a felony. So if you order the Mayweather fight and you go live and put that shit on there,
go come knock on the door.
A felony over that.
Over a phone.
Find me $500. Find me $1,000. Suspend my driver. A felony? You about to go to jail with murderers because you. Can you imagine what's gonna happen to you? Why are you in here, dog?
Hey man,
I wanted to show my boys the Mayweather fight. Like, come on, man. Come on. You're not gonna eat lunch for like a week. That's just crazy, bro. Like, that kind of shit makes me mad because people don't do their research. Everybody's so worried about like voting for the president. Like, vote for the people locally. That's what affects you. Like, Barack Obama to bring you a sandwich. Trump didn't either. Biden's not going to do that shit either. Don't worry about them. Like, worry about your congressman, your mayor, like, all that shit. Like,
you got to vote for the people. You got to do the research behind the people that are going to
affect you personally.
Yeah, affect the person. And don't get me wrong, like, vote for the right president and all that.
Right.
Vote for what you believe in.
Yeah.
But I also understand that there's other things that influence their decisions.
Yeah.
Because they don't, like, at the end of the day, the president had to sit, before he passes something or that, it had to go through 1,000 people, 100 other people's votes. I mean,
absolutely.
And decision making and process, like, I don't know too much, like, what all the labels are to anything, but I just know he can make the final decision, and even when he makes the final decision,
he still got to go through somebody.
He still got to go through somebody.
Because he signed that $2,000 and we ain't get that shit yet. And it was one dude, bro. One dude that blocked it like, I'm not feeling that shit.
Yeah.
Like, what? Like, how is it that one guy makes that decision? It is not the president. It's wild, man.
But also, like, when you read to what happened was he wasn't blocking it. Like, he's not trying to give it.
Yeah.
He's just trying to get more time to figure out
how they're going to do that. Absolutely. But that's the whole thing. I feel like America plays with people too much with that. Especially on Facebook now.
I don't think there should be any topic about the thing about going any less.
No, absolutely not.
Because, like, you see all these other countries, bro, like...
Canada gave out $2,000 a month. $2,000 a month.
Per person.
If they gave me $2,000 a month, I would have never left this house. I would have been able to order my groceries, Amazon, all that. I would have gladly stayed my ass home.
Yeah.
You know what you could do with $2,000?
Yeah, so we had to go out there and go work to get this money.
Yeah. But a lot of people got sent home to work from home, which was better. They did the same shit in Canada, but they also get, like, here's $2,000 because we know that you're going to need to eat more. You know, you're probably going to want to watch some more television. You're probably going to, there's like, that provided for a lot of people. Like, mentally, some people, online shopping is like a mental relief stress. Like, at least you could do that. You know what I mean? But people talk about, bitch about how high Canada's tax. Like, every redneck, like, American, like, super hardcore patriot is like, oh, they charge like 40% taxes. And it's like, yeah, but nobody has a hospital bill on their credit. Like, I'd rather give up that taxes and
you get sick, you about to get taken care of.
That's it. You need an emergency surgery. You don't gotta call this person to get a copay. No.
Yeah, and then the thing is, like, taxes, bro. Like, it's like everything, bro. Pay your dues.
That's it.
Like, in order to play the game, you gotta pay your
just fucking pay
it. So even on the street, there's a code. Like, you know, you gotta pay to play.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this isn't for free.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we gotta do. Like, you know, we can't complain about stuff like that because it's pointless, bro. Like, any person that understands business or understands to succeed, you got to pay to keep going.
Yeah.
Like, there's still, if it was such an issue for Canadians to pay that much, then there wouldn't be no successful entrepreneurs.
No, absolutely not.
And there's hundreds.
Mm-hmm.
Like, bro, you go to Canada, bro, like, you see places that you be like, bro, what the?
Like,
this shit, like, bro, this shit is off the chain.
Absolutely.
Like, the cities out there are off the chain. Like, I met a couple people that come from Canada.
Yeah.
And there's like, bro, some of our cities are like super developed. Like, we're ahead of shit up there. Like, you know, we're a developed city. Like, there's certain parts of Canada, like, and it's, oh, y'all got high taxes? Yeah, fuck it, dog. We gotta pay that shit. We want to make money. Make more money.
But here's the thing about Canada, though. When you think about it, it's like nobody's filthy rich in Canada, right? Unless they're entertainment business or something like that.
You can't say that because there's if you say nobody's filthy rich in Canada, there should be no property worth $1 billion.
No, right.
Or over $10 million. Like,
right.
There's then there you can buy then like a little island in Canada.
Right. But the thing about Canada though is like everybody does well.
Yeah.
Like everybody is like, I think I would say almost more than half the country probably makes over 6 figures in Canada. Easily. And that's the 1%ers here. Yeah. Like, but that's the whole thing about it. It's like, you see, like, people like, oh, man, you must be rich. You can travel from Canada to Disney World. And it's like, everybody can afford that in Canada. That's normal. That's like a normal life in Canada. People travel 2 or 3 times a year. Like, that's not, in America, like, you got to work for a year to get your 1 week vacation. And you got to go to Clearwater. Like, what the fuck? Like, why is that a thing? I'm going to tell you something right now. The number one thing, in my opinion, that's ruining this country is how quickly the middle class is fading. There's almost no such thing as middle class. You're either poor or you're rich. That's it. There's no, I feel like there's no more in between, like, where like somebody were like, you know, like, I got this kind of car and I'm doing okay. I'm in the middle. No, it's like, for me, like for us, $40,000 is a lot of money now. That wasn't considered a big deal back then. Like $40,000 wasn't even middle class. It's like, oh, you're gonna still apply for food stamps making $40,000 a year. Now you make 24, and they're like, we'll let you know. What? Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, see, that's when we gotta grind.
Yeah.
To really surpass that part because the government's gonna do what they want to do.
Yeah.
We just gotta learn how to play within the rules and be able to overcome that. Because, like, I get that. Like, my wife makes a certain amount, and I tell her all the time, you gotta pursue to make more. Like, not because I'm materialistic.
No, of course.
I'm not. Like, I could care less.
But because the potential's there.
But because the potential's there. So, like, we gotta focus on that part. Like, see, yeah, it's true on how you say all of that, but that's when we gotta focus on, like, nah, bro, we're worth more than that shit.
Absolutely, we are. 100%.
We can forget about that, bro. Like, cause sometimes if we play our cards right, we'll be okay with making $40,000 a year,
right,
and be very, very well off.
Absolutely,
and
absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's crazy what I say. Like, people won't be, oh, you can't do that. No, bro. Like, there's ways you can, like, not just ways, but yeah, you're gonna have to struggle for a couple years.
Right.
You're gonna have to play your cards right to be able to be like, I can live off of 40 G's.
Honestly, you should do phenomenal at 40 G's a year if people aren't trying to play, staying on the same level as other people they're not.
When you understand your level.
Yeah, because your lane. Because you can afford $700 a month on a Mercedes doesn't mean you should do it.
Yeah.
Like, that's the number one issue that's fucking everybody up. Yeah. Like,
everybody's trying to, like, eat a bigger steak than just eat.
That's it. Yeah. That's it. Like, you'll be like, if you just stay at your level, or act like the level that you're at with your income, within 3 to 5 years, you'll be up there with people making six figures all day. Like, and
even time, like, you could even do stuff like, because sometimes we say that, in 3 years we're not, or 5. Look, bro, it's not even that. Like, you can succeed in less time.
Absolutely.
You just gotta be able to bite your tongue down and grind. Like,
that's what you have to do.
And I tell you this, like, this is a perfect experience. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, me cutting hair.
Yeah.
Like, when I started cutting hair, I know I don't got a haircut. Oh, you're a barber.
It's like the oxymoron.
Right, like, I'm a beast. I'm really a beast at cutting hair. Like I can go toe to toe with a lot of people. Like, and they be like, oh yeah, no, I can back my word. Like, I'm a good ass barber.
I like we hit the brakes on the trolls early, just in case it comes up.
Yeah. Your hair is you got no edge all fucked up. Nah, look, bro. I don't cut my own hair just because it's a little time consuming for me. I'd rather go.
It's tough too.
Sit down in the chair.
Yeah.
Like, I used to cut my own hair.
Right.
Like, I don't want to do that no more. Like,
nah.
I'm okay with looking like
that. Sounds like a frustrating task, to be honest.
Yeah.
It sounds really annoying. Like, even if I knew how to do it, I don't think I would.
Like, I cut my son's hair because
that's different.
I don't want him to get fucked up. But
yeah.
And even that, my nigga, you ain't even that hairy, bro. Like,
he can ride this out another 32 days.
Bro, you ain't even looking that bad. You like, you all right? Just because I'm so busy, you know.
Right.
But I do it because I love it. Like, I'm passionate about it. But to get to what we were saying is, when I first got my license and I started cutting hair, I found out, like, I always thought barbers they make regular money. Like, because when I cut in high school, I've been cutting hair almost my whole life. Yeah. I made decent money in high school cutting hair. Right. But dude that I was working for at the shop, he had charging me booth rent. He actually was giving me a high percentage. Like, I ain't know no better. I was like, fuck it, I'm making some money in high school. Right. I was trying to pay some bills, not be, and it helped me out my last year just to get ahead. Right. But when I understood and when I met other barbers that make six figures, that make $100K plus, or like, I said, shit.
That's possible? Cut hair?
Cut hair, and then, like, I knew you could make money, but, like, I went through a stage that some people used to tell me all the time, you're not going to be successful cutting hair because cutting hair ain't a real job. Right. Like, I was like, what you mean cutting hair? Like, it's $1 billion industry.
Absolutely.
They're like, yeah, but that's when you sell a product. I was like, man, well, at least I'm part of something.
Absolutely.
Like, and I was like, I'm going to cut hair and I'm going to be okay. And I said, I know I'm going to be, I can make 30, 40K and provide for my family at the time and be okay. But, like, I feel like,
people don't know this. Like, people always want to put a scale on something without fully understanding.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
And then the thing was like, oh, you should go get a real job. Go get a real job, and you're gonna be successful. Go get this, and I'm like, look, bro, I'm gonna do me. I'm gonna make sure.
Let me worry about me.
Yeah. And when I found out I could make that much money, my second year,
Yeah.
I said, I'm going to make $80K.
Right.
Bro, I busted my ass. I went to work every day. I used to sleep at the barbershop
Yeah.
2 to 3 hours before it opened.
Right.
And sometimes I wouldn't even sleep because
He was so hyped, ready for the day.
I was so hyped to work because I got an opportunity, and I would open up the shop. By the time 11 o'clock hit, I had $300 in my pocket.
Absolutely.
So I was like, what?
And it's not even hot. You haven't even hit that after work traffic. Yeah.
I was coming out sometimes $500 a day.
Yeah.
And I know, and then the barbers used to tell me at the shop, they'd be like, man, dudes used to make money here every day.
Yep.
So it slowed down, like, of course, after the recession, the first recession we did. But I still feel like when you treat everything as a grind,
absolutely,
you will succeed.
Yeah.
Because at the time, my first year, me making an X, Y, and Z, like, I succeeded.
Yeah.
Like, the next year, I hit the 80K, if I'm not mistaken, and I succeeded.
Yeah.
The year after that, it was nonstop.
Right.
You know, and the same people that doubted my situation as far as, oh, you not finna be successful cutting hair.
Yeah.
Like, bro, they on my dick.
Yeah.
They were on my dick. Like,
that's how it works.
It's like, no, I'm gonna be alright.
Yeah.
And then I knew that I wanted to be my own boss to a certain extent.
Right.
So, I mean, not to a certain extent, to do my own thing. So that's why after I got sick, I was like, yo, I'm gonna go ahead and jump and do what I gotta do. And then, I'm gonna come back to cut hair, but
right.
That's
how it works.
Yeah, that's what it gets down to. You know what I'm saying?
Big, what's going on, man? Thanks for stopping by, my man. Yeah, we back. We appreciate you. That's, to add to what you said, man, I think there's no better feeling. Like, I think people doubting your shit and talking shit about your shit, I think that just makes you want to do that shit even more.
Yeah.
Like, I like that. People don't realize how a lot of people get depressed when people downplay their shit. You don't understand the fuel that shit should be giving you. Like, and let that be a perfect example, man. Like, in reality, like, everybody who was talking about, like, what a not job it was providing more than everybody's job. Like, and more, you know what I mean? And that's the thing. That's why, I tell you, like, behind the scenes, man, like, I tell you all the time, like, you better than me. Because in this kind of situation, and don't get me wrong, I'm not the type of dude to, like, if I let somebody hold something, like, the whole world don't got to know. That's you and me. That's what it is, you know what I mean? But where I came from, don't bite the motherfuckers that feed you, bro. Like, if somebody looked out for you, don't come out here trying to downplay this. Like, what's wrong with you? Like, you know what I mean? And a lot of people, and don't get me wrong, a lot of people do learn their lesson after. I'm not going to say that people end up, like, being assholes. Like, no, some people were like, damn, he's right. He shut me up. Yeah. I can respect those people. You know what I mean?
The whole time me growing up, like, hopefully in the future we can talk more about, like, what I've been through, like, as far as that. But my whole time growing up, I was always that kid that was underestimated. Like, not because I wasn't good enough.
Right.
Was because everybody was saying, like, everybody in my life felt like they were way better in everything. Yeah. Than me in anything. Like,
well, everybody already had a perspective about you, which is unfair because nobody ever saw you attempt to even develop anything in the first place.
Exactly. So, like, as a kid, like, even as a young kid, when I was a new kid, to this whole, like, to where I grew up at, it was like, oh, what is this guy? Like, I mean, I was always trying to just prove, not even prove, just trying to find my lane. Like, not that I cared what anybody thought, but I was constantly having a fight just to be able to get people off my back. Right. But then when it came down to a point where it's like, when I was older, like, fast forwarding, like, when I was in high school, and around that time of me finding myself when I was in school and out of school, like, I was always underestimated. Right. Like, I had friends, of course. I love my homies to the death. Like, and I got mad respect for a lot of cats. Yeah. Like, I tell you this. This is exactly a perfect example. Like, when I was a freshman in high school, I was underestimated a lot, and not by a lot of people, like, on the football team. Right. But I remember my first week playing ball. Like, I got a couple buddies that play in the pros, and guys that went to college, they can probably, if they really go back to reminisce a lot of things, and they remember my first week.
Right.
Like a lot of people thought I was a square. Like
Yeah.
as far as to play ball, like I never played
Right.
ball with anybody out of school,
Right.
or
Right.
little league or none of that. So they tested me.
Because you didn't have a 10-year minor league.
Yeah.
History, yeah.
Like, they tested me, and then when I showed them,
Yeah.
it was like, okay, well, we're not underestimating this kid.
Absolutely.
You know, and then that's
But they it gives you bigger respect on that aspect. Absolutely.
Exactly.
But it sucks that you had to fight for it in the first place without like people even knowing you. Yeah. Because people already disqualified you without even knowing who the fuck you were.
That's true.
Like,
and in life, I had to deal with that, and I looked at it in life, everything like that. Like when I started doing my own thing, like when I started going to school, when I started going to college, and I had a way to go play balls after that. I still had to remember that like nobody's gonna, and it's like anything, nobody's gonna give you that respect.
right.
And then especially after the way everything happened with me was like, I slipped up, got my girl pregnant,
Right.
which is my wife at the time. So a lot of people were like, "Man, what you finna do?" I was like, I'm finna go work.
Yeah.
Like I had time to sit.
How
there
many
and think
how many people went?
Yeah. This guy, his life away. Like, he got pregnant.
You could probably count the amount of people that went like yeah, that's but that's everybody's perspective is like, and what sucks is 90% of the time that was their situation. So now automatically that's gonna be your outcome. No, bro. Like,
and the thing was like, oh, he was such a good cat.
Yeah.
He was about to do good. Now.
But the thing about it is though, and this is with all due respect to like, you know, all your success that you've gained thus far and stuff like this, do you sometimes feel that you outperformed yourself because of that doubt? Do you feel like that fuel helped you get to that next level? Because I think that's what helps me out a lot. Like I really do feel like if I had this like only child syndrome, like a lot of only child have that kind of syndrome to where like their mommy was like, you're gonna be the best no matter what. And then when their supervisor doesn't say so, it's like, oh, he's a punk. No, he's not your mom. Like, and I feel like that happens to him a lot. But I think you being in the situation that you were in was a blessing because you had to fight for it. You know what I mean? And now it's at the point where like you might not be as fighting as much as you were before to prove certain things to people, but now you have new battles. Now there's a whole new battle that you have to do.
Yeah, but even then, I still find myself, not that I have to find myself proving it to people,
right?
But
prove it to yourself. Absolutely.
Not that I have to prove, because I don't like. Now I'm at a position where I get two shits what you say. But just because some people will envy you,
yeah,
they will definitely not be like, oh yeah, I could do it better than him. Man,
yeah.
I was like, I don't doubt nobody. Bro, the game is for everybody.
Absolutely.
Like, there's enough money for everybody to make. Like
100%.
Go do you. Like, don't say that I fucked up or you gonna do better than me.
Right.
I want that to be good because I just know that me doing me made you succeed.
Absolutely.
So like that goes.
And you're not a hater either.
Yeah, I'm not a hater.
If somebody does better than you happy for them.
Yeah,
so hell yeah, bro. That's great. I can't wait to be there.
Yeah.
That's it.
And when it comes down to a lot of things like, oh, he's like they're gonna be like try to downplay me. Hey, man, look, like, I tell a lot of the guys that come around me,
right,
and that want to be a part of my crew.
Yeah.
I was like, and not saying that I got a gang. I'm not a gang. You know what I'm saying? I don't got a gang.
We had to establish that it's not a gang, guys. It's a group. Yeah.
Hey, but we will rock the news.
The way he said, just the way you stressed it. Hold up. It's not a gang. It's not a gang.
But we ain't nothing to play with either. Like,
but it's your crew. It's your crew. Yeah, for sure.
But like, but like I said, like I tell them, I was like, people, just because you're around me, they don't want you to succeed.
Right. Right.
Just because they don't want me to succeed. Just because when I was cutting hair for a little bit, like as a young cat, I used to cut this OG's hair, bro.
Right.
I cut him up. Like I used to cut him, his whole family.
Right.
And we were trying to get put on. Like we were trying to get put on to make money. Like yo, let's
right.
And yeah, he wanted to, but then it was like they didn't give us the opportunity. Like they kept playing me. They kept feeling like, you know how you tease a kid and be like, you can do that, you can't do this.
Right.
And the homeboys used to dudes used to just throw situations at me as like, yeah, if you could do this, this, and that, I'll give you a chance.
Right.
All right, bet, give me that. Or,
right.
All right, bet, let's go. Like,
but sometimes they'll set up unrealistic standards, and then you meet them, and they're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, they used to be
nah, we need another test. Yeah. That's how that shit is.
There's a game that you draw up a star, right?
Right.
And with a penny.
Yeah.
You gotta play it a certain way where you gotta do 3 things consecutive, and then you put a penny in each spot, and there's always gonna be one spot. But if you fill it all out, you win.
Right.
So he was doing it, and he told me if I figure this out,
right,
he'll hand me 10 G's.
Right.
Bro, I was like, bro, you about to hand me 10 G's.
right now.
So I made him do it for me like 4 times.
Right.
Like him, and I'm like, okay. So he only did the first 3 steps. He goes, but you gotta finish it. So I started doing it. I didn't get it the first day.
Right.
So in my mind, I kept playing it.
Right.
So he went the next day. We were chilling. He upped it, bro. He upped it to everybody at the table. Was like, I'll give you $20,000 to anybody that can solve this.
Wow.
Bro, so like everybody's trying, bro, and he's about to leave.
Right.
And I'm doing it, and I'm trying it, and I fucking do it, bro. I look at him and say, hand me my 20 G's. He goes, dude, he ain't believe me. He did not believe me. Nobody believed that I did it, so I started doing it again.
Right.
And then I did it 4 or 5 times, and I did it right the whole time.
Right.
And I was like, where's my money? He goes, see, the thing is, there's 100 ways to skin a cat. Nah, nigga. Bro, like.
There's 100 ways to skin a cat.
Bro, and they were like, and he underestimated me.
Yeah,
because,
absolutely.
And they underestimate you because they feel that they're always superior.
Yeah.
And that's how I play my game.
Yeah.
You keep on underestimating if you want.
Right.
Bro, I'm going to shine.
Yeah.
And I don't need to follow your footsteps to shine.
Absolutely.
I'm going to do it my way. And I know that I'm not no idiot. And I'm going to succeed. Like, I learn from other people's mistakes.
Right.
Because
and from your own, of course.
And from
absolutely.
my own, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, I know
some
what
of the best shit to learn is when you fuck some
what
shit up.
I know what it is to struggle. I know, like, especially when it comes down to monetary stuff, anything, like, I always had something growing up. I had a lot of insecurities. Right. But I never showed it. Right. So I always had insecurities. Like, that's why sometimes I gotta really be confident. Like, absolutely. I don't want my insecurities to show. Like, I know what it is to get. What is sad to say, bullied. Right. Mismatched. Like, you know.
But that's normal. I mean, that's normal for everybody to go to. But it's unacceptable in society standards. Yeah. So and then I just fucked up. I don't want to go slip my wrist or nothing. But I know I know that people overdo it. Like, absolutely. And that way, I knew that I wasn't going to let that happen to me. Right. So until you push back and put that stop to it, then. It's like in every movie that shows that shit. People like, oh, when the little jit pushes back, everybody, oh, he ain't playing. All that. Stop fucking with the kid. Like, it was like that for me in a lot of things. So when I came around these guys, they thought they were always a hot shot, and they thought they were always smarter. Yeah. And really what it was is that some people, what happens is they find a group of guys that they could always be superior to. Absolutely, yeah. So then, when I came around and when my brother came around, they started shining a little bit. Absolutely, yeah. And they felt like, I want to take over that stuff. Nah, bro, I want to eat with you. Yeah, right. So that proved a lot of things to me because I stuck around them for a year or two. I was a cat. I was young as shit, and I was cutting hair, and I was like, man, it was like 10 people. Just off of him alone, he was an account for me for 10 heads. Yeah. On a Wednesday, every single time. Yeah. And I was cutting up all the kids, all the nephews. So it's cool. Then I cut up his other cousins and all their family. And
eventually, as we kept growing and learning from each other, we saw griminess between them.
Yeah.
We saw how it was to the point where they were intimidated of what we brought to the table.
Yeah.
Bro, and they had 10 years on us.
Right.
We were kids.
But that's frustrating because you never implemented that part to make them feel like you were going to take anything from them.
No. Bro, let me equal y'all.
Right.
Just give me your scraps.
Right.
Or like
that's it.
Teach and not even give me, because I want nothing.
Nothing's free. Right.
Free. Like show me.
And you don't want some free shit because they don't appreciate it.
Shit comes with a price.
Absolutely.
Anything free comes with a price at the end of the day.
Always. Absolutely.
So like the government's handing us money, man. Hey man.
Yeah.
Figure it out, but sooner or later we gotta pay that price to get
Absolutely.
that money back to them guys.
Yeah. So, and people think too, like they're like, oh, they're not gonna take it out of our taxes, and it's like out of our income tax, and it's like, no. But when taxes go up from 30 to 35%, that's what that stimulus went. Yeah. Absolutely. But they're gonna get that shit sooner or later. And don't get me wrong, like they got to, but it's like, stop thinking this shit is free. Like it's not. Like a lot of people don't realize too, like a lot of this stuff that's implemented, like they denied it so much. Not just because like the United States is that bad, because they can be, but our economy is kind of fucked up too. Like, and the thing about it is, like, for people to think that things aren't gonna get worse before they get better is insane. Like, they have to prepare themselves. But I think right now, we're about to run into a blank sheet of paper where there's nothing going on. And I think now is the time for people who've been saying, I gotta wait for the right time, which is dumb because I don't think there's ever gonna be a right time. No. But assuming there ever was, this is it. 2021, this virus at its lowest. What's up?
Y'all still streaming?
Yeah.
Because y'all not on the thing either.
What you mean? What you mean?
We're on it. It says it cut off at 44 minutes.
No, hit refresh. The network band probably cut off.
I'll text you them.
All right, man, y'all need to tighten up. We out here cutting shit out.
But Zelda. Sorry about that, folks. But a lot of the times, like that's people don't realize, like this is the blankest slate you're ever gonna get if you were ever going to get one. Like now is the blankest set you will ever get if you plan on ever getting one. What's up, baby? Oh, yeah. Okay. There you go. You come over here. All right. Say hi to everybody. Say hi. Say hi. Look, who's that? Who's that?
Hi.
Say hi. You done it before. Say hi. Go with mom. Look, give this to mom. Okay. That's what. Oh, okay. You want SpongeBob? Okay. Toma. Here's SpongeBob.
Huh? What? Go show Titi.
Toma. Show mom SpongeBob, okay? Go. Bye-bye.
But yeah, definitely, like right now is the time. Like it's a time for a lot of things. It's a time to really prepare for the worst.
Yes.
It's a time to, like, if you about to really do what you want to do, go do it.
Do it.
Like I say that, but I'm also held back on a lot of things I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm finishing the one thing first before the next one now.
Right.
Because I stretched myself thin the
right.
past 2 years. Like I stretched myself, overwhelming myself to really try to figure out a way to bounce back.
Mm-hmm.
And realize that I need to complete just one thing first,
right?
So that the next thing can go. So the next thing, like, I'm gonna make it happen.
Yeah.
I'm finna, like, you know what I'm saying. So, but that's why anybody else that's gonna do it, they need to just go ahead and lock down and do it now. Like,
yeah,
we gotta prepare for the worst. It's not you say it's gonna get worse.
Absolutely.
But it might get a little bit better now, and then it's gonna get worse.
Yeah.
So, like, when it gets a little bit better, prepare for that worse.
Yeah.
Because when it gets worse and the government really can't help us.
Yeah.
Like,
we need to fend for ourselves.
Yeah, we need to fend for. And
absolutely.
That's when shit hits the fan.
Yeah.
So like, that's what we got to get together at. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like as people, as families,
right.
as everybody.
Thank you.
As everything. So like, we need to get all of that ready in general for everything.
Right. I mean, that's what it is too. I mean, the the scary part is that we don't know where they're going. I mean, that's 100% correct. And I think it's better to get it out early in the year. If we're gonna do this serious lockdown, do it now. Like, do it now. And when spring comes up, all those businesses can bounce back during spring break.
Yeah.
Like,
there's still hope for everything. There's still time for everything to still go good.
yes,
Like there's a lot of people that struggle. Like, I mean, look, we went through COVID, bro. We also had riots. Like, there's a lot of shit that happened this year. And,
yo, I forgot how crazy the riots were in 2022. That shit was insane.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's been wild, but, bro. Like, at the end of the day, we all still finish off the year alive, like, and with hope. Like, yeah, there's a lot of people that lost their lives.
Yeah,
but it's part of life.
yeah,
Everything has to happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we have to understand that, yes, like, every consequence has a reaction.
absolutely. Yeah.
So whatever you do, whatever Congress did, whatever somebody did, or however it was for this virus to spread, for everything, these are the consequences.
Yeah.
You know, so, like, if we want our consequences later on to be good,
Yeah.
then we have to understand that every reaction we do now
It's gonna be a chain
is gonna
effect.
be a chain
Yeah.
effect. So, like,
I think people too are like a lot more demanding of like the expectations are always higher. And I'm not defending the government because they're ridiculous in a lot of things, but I think the expectations are always higher for the government because they are the government. And I feel like that just happens quite a bit. Like this guy, the guy who blocked that $2,000 stimulus, they vandalized his house last night. They fucked this shit up, like on some wild shit. Like, and the thing about it is like, will that work? Maybe, maybe not. But
yeah,
you know,
now there's somebody did something. You know. What
yeah.
I'm saying? And that's where it becomes a reaction now.
Absolutely.
Like, there's a consequence now.
Because either two things are gonna happen. Either it's gonna be like, you know what, screw it, let's do it. We don't know how much funds the United States have. He might say do it and put us in a hole, or he might be like, you know what, I'm gonna stay at an undisclosed location and y'all ain't get another dime. It's gonna be one or the other. Like, I'd rather not get either one. But you know, that's what it is, man. But you know, a lot of people aren't getting it. You know, but at the same time, like, the number one thing that I think I admire about you the most, and anybody in general trying to do something with their lives outside of the norm, is like, get out of the position where you even need that shit in the first place. Like, get out of it. You know, don't sit there and continue waiting for somebody to hand you something. Like, I'm not saying that, like, oh, you're taking it as a handout and stuff like that. Like, no, yeah, like, we're going through a pandemic. Like, we all need it. But try to put yourself in a position where you're not like, bro, like, how many times me and her made a lot of mistakes in the last couple of years. You know, she had a divorce and I fucked up, and, you know, not a lot of people know about that crazy situation and stuff. But, you know, we put ourselves in a lot of positions to where, like, now we're like that. And the goal is that after this year, we don't want to be doing that no more. We don't want to be like, can I run it? Oh, which card do I use? Oh, let me check both cards. We don't want to be there no more. Like, we understand the mistakes we've made and we got to own up to it. But if we don't learn now and fix it, we're going to be like that at 40 years old. You don't want to do that shit in your 40s. I don't want to do it now, but, you know.
See, and that's where it becomes, that's where we got to be savvy with it. Like,
Yeah.
you may not necessarily need it, but it's going to help.
Absolutely.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So if it's just going to help out a little bit, like, you may have all your bills paid.
Yeah.
Or all your rent paid, your light bill, or you might just be a month behind on your light bill. Or
Yeah.
you might just be that, but your credit cards are maxed. Or
Yeah.
just, like, be smart with it. Like, let's think about our future. Like, bro, pay down your credit card.
Yeah.
Or pay down some medical bills on your credit.
Right.
Let's fix to have the better result at the end.
Yeah.
Like,
absolutely.
that's where it comes to. Like, that's why I say, yeah, we all need the help from the government.
Yeah.
Because there's, you know, definitely, yeah, if the government's willing to help me, yeah, I'll take that.
Right.
I'll take that. But guess what? I'm not finna just go blow it and be in the same position next month.
Right.
Like, you're gonna give me that. I'm finna go handle my priorities and
Right.
take a couple things right and do a couple things right, so that way the next time something like this happens, I'm okay.
Right,
Like
right.
I'm
Or at least better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
better.
Yeah,
Exactly, like,
absolutely.
I'm better, so like that, but a lot of people don't think like that.
Yeah.
A lot of people
Live in the now.
live in the now.
Too many. I think this generation is heavy with that, and we've been victims of that as well. We were too much, with everything going on. We were too much in the let's just worry about right now, and it's guys, take it from us from experience, man. That'll set you back. You know what I mean? But we're at, the good thing about all of us right now is that we're in a position where we can get out fairly easily if we sacrifice a little bit of fun and hunger and nature, things of that nature. Like, we can get out of it fairly easier. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people, man, who are 3 houses, 2 cars into debt, and they might take 5-7 years to be able to fix their shit. You know what I mean? But
so that's what it gets down to, like, especially like the grinding part of it. Like,
yeah.
it's like I look at Eric Thomas a lot.
Oh yeah.
And his speech is like, bro, you gotta be willing to sacrifice.
Eric Thomas makes you hungry, bro.
Yeah.
He makes you hungry.
He gets you to think right again. Like, but it's the very true. Like, there can be nothing more said than if you're not willing to sacrifice that.
Yeah.
Then you gotta progress. Like,
Absolutely.
My dad's a pastor and all that. So he said it this, like, last year, his last sermon. Like, I went to church.
Yeah.
The first time
Right.
in a long time.
Welcome back. But it felt good. It felt good.
Friday was New Year's.
Yeah.
So I went Friday night to church.
Nice.
It's been a tradition that we
Always done.
like,
Right.
Yeah. Every year we did, like, we welcome New Year church or something. Over
Right.
With the family. So.
And spiritually, it was good. It was a good start to the year.
But he said it, bro. Like, me and my dad bump heads a lot sometimes, but he has reasons. Like, he has
reason to believe what he believes.
Like,
Yeah.
And it made a lot of sense on his last sermon. Like, and it hit home because it's like, anybody that wants blessings or wants to succeed or wants to be anything bigger in life has to understand that it requires a sacrifice.
Somewhere.
Always. Like, it requires time.
Yeah.
It requires you not to eat for a little bit. Like, I respect that from my dad, because when I graduated high school, I was almost homeless.
Yeah.
So, like, we sacrificed a lot. Like, there was a point because he couldn't provide no more because my dad was injured.
Right.
Like, we sacrificed a lot, but then because we had to, we reaped the benefits a year later, like,
right.
or months later, because it played out.
Right.
But it took sacrifice.
Absolutely.
So
and I'm sure a sacrifice you didn't want to do at the moment, but you had to.
And even the sacrifice, we were scared because we weren't ready to know where we were going to live.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we were about to lose it all.
Right.
So, and it's like now, like, I'm not 100% successful.
Right.
I'm not to where I want to be at. Yeah, I've struggled for the past, like, I was on an up. The end of 2016. Took a lot, like, got sick, struggled for, like, not even struggle, but recovered for a whole year.
Right.
2018, 2019, I was on my way up.
Yeah.
And then boom, take a loss.
Yeah.
But all the sacrifice I did between 2016 and 2019, there was a lot of time.
There was a lot of learning curve. Yeah.
A lot of risky shit that I did, like, a lot of things, but that sacrifice plays out now.
Yeah.
Like, we're not worried.
Yeah.
But we understand that because of that sacrifice, I got what I got. Like, I got a house that's almost built.
Right.
Like, I got one of my income properties that is about to be done that I didn't expect that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, and I developed a team. I thinned out a lot of people, a lot of it, like, but because of the sacrifice is where I'm at.
Right.
Because I had to sacrifice my time, myself, a lot of time with my family.
Yeah.
To be able to get to this position. Like, I'm at the very verge of being financially free.
Yeah.
Family free, that I can help out you guys, anybody in my family,
Yeah.
I'm at the verge of that happening, but yet I'm able to be in that position because I
You
just hella
sacrifice.
sacrificed.
Absolutely. You gave up
Like,
quite a
I
bit.
gave up a lot.
Yeah.
And I risked myself a lot.
Yeah.
And it's what goes on, like what my dad was saying, like if the bigger the risk, the greater the reward.
Absolutely.
Like,
Absolutely.
And he wasn't talking about illegal stuff.
Right.
He was just
He was just saying in
talking
general.
about in general.
Absolutely.
He was just talking about like if you're going to grind and you're going to commit and you're going to sacrifice that time for this to happen,
Right.
you're going to see the outcome. Like right now, look, we're on this podcast, right? And we start this year off sacrificing, taking time. You're promoting yourself, everything. I can guarantee you, bro. Next year, this time,
Be a whole different ball game.
We're gonna tell people go listen to that shit.
Yeah, a year ago.
A year
Yep.
ago. And they're gonna be like, "What? Y'all sat here and said this shit a year ago."
Yep.
And it's gonna be wild.
Absolutely.
It's absolutely gonna be wild. No matter.
And we hope it inspires others to do the same thing.
most
Absolutely.
definitely. And the thing is, no matter what's going on in our world around us, we gotta put on like what horses wear.
The blindfolds.
The blindfolds, and just hey,
Go on our
shit
race.
might just-
You gotta run. Don't worry about what's next to
Nah.
you.
Let's focus.
No, that's it.
Let's
Yeah.
grind.
Absolutely.
Like, and I gotta take that, and I talk like this all the time, and I gotta remind myself, like, hey, man,
Yeah.
you gotta do that shit too.
Yeah.
Like I gotta
That happens to
remind
be a
myself
lot.
that, like, hey, Ivy, you better understand what you just
Just
said.
said.
You gotta go ahead and do what you just said.
Yeah. Absolutely.
because
Because it is easier to say to someone else.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's easy to always tell somebody else that they're fucked up when you're not realizing you fucked
You
up.
fucked up yourself. Yeah.
You can say, like,
But that's the number one thing, man. Like, and that's the lesson of this podcast here. And future episodes will be different and still within the same realm of, being motivated and stuff. But that one thing Eric Thomas always says is that, man, the comfort zone, man, is the most dangerous place in the world because people don't realize the skills that they even have because they're so comfortable with like what they have. And people start getting scared when they leave that zone because they're like, oh, I'm capable of doing this. Like this shit Ashley's doing now. That's my favorite version of her I've seen since I've gotten with her. Because she's sleeping less doing all this stuff, but she's happier.
Yeah,
She's happier. And like scientifically, it doesn't make sense. But I get it. I get it because she's like in a position now where she's so happy because she's like, man, like I enjoy doing this. And we're hoping that within a 1 or 2 year mark, like that might be the gig.
Yeah.
That
and it's like a lot of things. Like I wanna, and it's so true because I want to do my brand.
Yeah.
But I know that I physically can't sit there and do it.
Right.
But if she's learning to do this,
Absolutely.
she can help me in that area.
100%.
And she gets paid for that. Because
Bro,
when
we
I'm
can
ready,
put
we'll
all
be-
this shit
you know,
together
it's-
and make it work.
Everything will end up working, but and what's
It's about to be clockwork.
yeah, and exactly that because you said it's like scientifically not it's illogical, but it goes to, and it comes down to how I feel like I probably got sick
Yeah.
4 years ago. Like I overworked my body
Right.
without a rest
Right.
for days and weeks. Bro, I used to go. I'll tell you, I'll go in on a Saturday at like 7 in the morning, 8 in the morning.
Yeah.
I wouldn't get out the shop till 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
Bro, I was busy. Like,
Yeah.
I can sit there and I can tell you, barbers can attest to that.
Yeah.
A lot of barbers here in Tampa
Yeah.
can tell you, if they know me, they know that, oh, Ivy will grind in the shop.
Yeah.
Ivy will outcut 99% of the barbers out here.
Right.
Just on the work ethic behind it.
Yeah.
But it wasn't just only that. It was because I'm in love with it.
Absolutely.
Like, yeah, I lost
But
a
you
little
have
bit
to
of
be to
blood,
have
but-
that kind of passion.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And
There's something you're not in love with. You're not going to put forth that effort. I don't feel.
Absolutely not. And because I want to succeed.
Yeah.
Because I liked being able to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And like a friend of mine's called me yesterday and was like, hey man, when you gonna cut hair? I was like, man, real soon.
Yeah.
I was like, he goes, for real? I was like, yeah, man, I'm finna put together something soon. And I'm finna just, even if it's just my personal clients,
Yeah.
like that I got people still call me on the weekly, hey,
Right.
can you cut my hair? Can you? And for what's that? We're 2021. For 4 years, have almost
Yeah.
hit me up every week for a haircut.
Yeah.
And I've cut their hair in between because I'm not a dick.
Right.
I I can't be that.
I have it blowing everybody off. But it'd be, I mean, but that's the thing though. Like when you're in demand like that, like, it'll help out. Because instead of charging 20, you charge 25, and they're willing to do it to get that spot, and it helps both of you guys out. They're happy with their cut. You made because it doesn't hurt to have the extra money. No. It's not going. It'll never hurt. It'll never be like, oh, there's extra money. Yeah. It'll never be like a thing. Like
no, for sure. Because that's but the thing behind it is the love for it. Like Ebony, bro. Ebony can sit here and tell you. Ebony can sit here and tell you that when I was cutting hair, she'll go to pick me up when we had one car for a time, and she'll have to still sit out there for an hour, 2 hours. Wow. Outside the shop.
Somebody pulled up.
Tell her, I was like, babe, I'm gonna get them one more. She used to, like, in the beginning, she got kind of upset because it's like, yo, I'm trying to go home.
Right.
But when she understood the end game,
and
she understood what I'm really working for, and it wasn't just like, don't just work for something and don't start that emotion. Like, put that forward emotion because
you got to have end results. You got to.
If not,
it's not going to make sense to them.
What happened to me is like, it's just exactly what happened to me. Like, I was working, busting my eyes, and it came, I was starting to put in results, like, starting to build my house. But it came to the point where I was just grinding. Say, when I get this much, I'm going to throw it at that. Then I got this much and I reinvested it. Oh, I got this much.
Right.
And what it did was I accumulated the bank and then lost it all.
Right.
And then guess what? My house isn't done.
Yeah.
So then now I beat myself.
Now you felt like you were halted.
Yeah. I feel myself like, damn, dog, I could have been. I could have finished my house. And then, damn, bro, I just had like deja vu right now.
Yeah, right?
I promise you, I just had like deja vu. That
you just saw it happen.
That we've been doing this years already.
That whole shit just flashed like right in front of you.
Like I already dreamt that we were just here before.
Yeah, absolutely. But that's the beauty of it, man. I get that, like moments like that sometimes are the best because you're like, damn, like look where I'm at. You know what I mean? And look where I was before. Yeah. That's the best feeling in the world, man.
And like right now, like just
it's not over.
Yeah, and I just had deja vu about thinking about right here in this podcast. Like I could have sworn I dreamt that I'll be right here talking.
Yeah, absolutely.
So like, look at that. But get to that topic is now I sit back and I'm like, damn, my house could have been done.
Yeah.
And when I took the loss that I took 2 years ago. I could have been like, man, I got the house. I could have pulled out a loan and just bounced right back up.
Right,
now,
absolutely.
Now I'm like, fuck, I'm trying to finish this house.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Now you feel like you're playing catch up, but at the same time, like you can't call it catch up, man, because you were learning something, man. You know.
And I'm fairly young, man. Like I'm 29. Yeah, I mean, we're young. A lot of people still think of us as young.
Yeah.
And I'm grinding harder now. Like a lot of people, just enjoy your teenage. Yeah, man, I've enjoyed my life. Like I spent time.
I enjoyed a little too much when I was younger. Yeah.
I've taken out my wife. We went places. Like I ain't never think I'd fly outside of Florida.
Yeah.
Or outside of Puerto Rico. I've been out into a lot of states already. Like I've been out there. So like, not saying that I'll never go anywhere else, but my next thing is to travel out the country.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, if I travel out the country, I want to do good out there.
Absolutely.
I want to progress.
It's pointless to go out there and you have to keep cup noodles for 4 days just because you can't afford nothing. Yeah. But that's the whole thing, man. I mean, it's something you got to work for, man. You got to work for, and when you get there, that's like I said, that deja vu shit is the best thing. When you look back and you're like, I remember when I talked about it and I didn't have it then. But I got it now. Yeah. Things come full. There's no better feeling than, I mean, that's the number one thing is thinking into existence. Like when things come full circle, you'll see like, it's, I heard, I forgot who it was that said it, man, but it's not about the destination, man. It's about the journey. The journey is going to be the one that made you appreciate that shit. Like, because a lot of people like, I hate to say it like that because I'm not bagging them in any negative way, but like a lot of these young Disney stars or Justin Bieber, like you see them on the news doing crazy stuff because they had that situation where it was just overnight. You know what I mean? They didn't have it big as a journey, and they were given the keys to the world at 16 years old. So what do you think is gonna happen when they're 21? Like they've been doing all the shit that they could do at 21 since they were 17, 18, 19 years old. Like even Justin Bieber used to say like wild shit. He used to be like, oh, I wasn't old enough to go in this club, so then I bought the shit. And it's like, like that's dangerous, bro. Like you just made it. You just made something illegal legal. Like we were talking about before. Like, you know, it's just, it's wild, bro. It's wild. So, you know,
that's where it comes down to. Like, you gotta be smart with the shit. Like,
you got to.
Yeah, be smart. Like, if I was given, and that's what it was. Like, I grinded. I made my certain amount, and then I started my investments in my, like, me going for and hustling and doing my thing. But I was making sure I was smart with it.
Yeah.
But then again, I was smart with it, but I wasn't like, I was all the way smart with
Right,
it.
right.
So I had to.
There's always levels to it.
Yeah. There's always levels to learning how to manage shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, the kid still probably, like, you know, he still got bread and all that.
Yeah.
But now he understands, like, I gotta invest
100%. Oh, you see him now. He's 100% different than he was 3 years ago.
So then that's where me too in that area. Like, if I was given the opportunity 3 years ago,
Yeah.
like, yeah, I would have invested. I would have still invested the way I did, but prioritize a couple other things at the same time.
Absolutely.
To make it a lot. To make this topic now, we could have been doing this.
Yeah.
Last year.
Right. Exactly.
Or the year before, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But
It's a learning curve.
You learn
Absolutely.
that shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you really will learn it. Like, bro, I'm telling you, this will blow.
Yes. Absolutely.
And everybody's gonna be like, man, they said they had bullshitted with nobody or with a couple people looking for an hour or whatever, however long.
Yeah.
Now look at them now. Bro,
Yeah.
We can't even get them here for 15
Exactly.
minutes, you know what I'm
Is that,
saying?
wait a minute, hold on, another question. Hold on, we got another question here. But that's what I look for. That's why one of the reasons why I wanted to do it, man, because now, you know, I'm over all the humps, you know, thanks to you guys and other folks that, you know, helped out, and I'm just grateful to be in this position. But not only that, man, it's people need to see, like, and I think your stories is one of the stories that needed to be heard, man, to show people, like, fucked up shit happens to everybody. You know what I mean? Like, fucked up shit happens to everybody, and, like, you can either sit there, you know, and cry about it and be depressed about it, like I did for a number of years, which I'm still in shock to this day that I went through it. But, you know, I tell people shit all the time, like, bro, you got to get over certain things. There's certain things you can't do nothing about. Like, you just got to, you know.
I got little homies that they're not even part of the team now, and they got depressed, and they shut down.
Absolutely.
And I still believe in them.
Absolutely. Because that potential was there at one point, and they
I still believe they got potential. Don't get me wrong, they can't sit at my table the same no more.
Right.
Because
and I don't think people truly lose potential. They just give up on it. Yeah.
That's what it is. I don't think that I'm going to give them the same opportunity I was.
You did at one point.
At one point.
But you still believe in them.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I want them to do the best. I want them to be the best.
Yep.
I want them to, and that comes down to a lot of people that I've helped and given out the hand to in my life. Is like, bro, I want you to be better than me.
Yeah.
Like, I want you to be at the same scale as me or even better. So like, when I take the next loss, because this road is up and down.
Absolutely.
So when I take my next loss and you're up, hey man, help me out.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And it wouldn't even be without a question for me to ask you.
Yeah. Let's run it.
Let's run it. Go take it.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why even in the little bit that I have, I want
you're always investing. Absolutely.
And I want you to help out because you guys know, like, even anybody in the family knows that they can come and ask me, and if I have it at the time, I'm willing to help.
Yeah.
And if I don't have it, what I'd be like saying, hey, let's figure out a solution to get it.
Absolutely.
If this is what you need, let's figure this out. Like,
I don't think I ever heard you hang up a motherfucker and be like, sorry, man.
Yeah,
no, it's like, hey, let's figure it out.
That's exactly. Like, I want everybody to be okay because I want my blood to, or like just anything close to me to be as good.
Yeah.
To be better than me.
Absolutely.
Because I want, I have my homeboy right now. He's one of my partners. Like, I tell him all the time now. I was like, and a lot of people may interpret it the wrong way. They feel like, oh, I'm catering too much to him.
Right.
Nah, like, because at the end of the day, he was 100% with me every single day.
Absolutely.
For like, let's say, since the end of 2019. And he didn't want to do a lot of other things I was doing.
Yeah.
But not because it wasn't for him.
Right.
He told me, I want to be part of y'all crew.
Yeah.
I can't do that.
Yeah.
So I was like, bet. Let's do this.
Let's
put
find you
together-
something else. Yeah.
Let's put together this and you run it.
Yeah.
And he made sure no matter, because even though our agreement was for me to get a percentage, even though I haven't received nothing, but he kept me 100% in the loop
Right.
with everything.
Right.
And then I help him out to the max because I know at the end
that's one dude you can count on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's one dude I could count on.
Yep.
No matter what, and I know that what me and him are working for right now is going to reap so much benefits.
Absolutely.
For my family, his family, that bro, everybody that we we didn't have to prove to nothing to.
Right.
That you downplayed me.
Yeah.
They're gonna be still. Bite their tongue.
Yeah.
Because when we take off,
Yeah.
they ain't gonna know what to do.
There's no better feeling than that.
Yeah,
shit.
and there's no better feeling because
There's-
we're gonna make sure they can't see what we're doing.
Yeah.
She had it now, that little baby.
But so dog. But that's the point of everything, man. That's my favorite thing there. It's just being able to, balance that out to that point where like you look at mad people that were doubting you and they're just like, hey, congrats, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I bet.
Later on, we'll talk about some other things, and then we could get into details like how people really underestimate me. You know what I'm saying? Like when I'm okay on certain levels, that then I can speak
Freely,
about it,
yeah,
and there not
absolutely.
be any repercussions.
Right.
You know.
But and I think later on down the road, people will realize there'll be no hard feelings, man, because everybody's got to accept what it was. You know what I mean? That's like you made your bed. You laid in it, you know what I mean? Like, but that doesn't mean I'm that type of person too, to where like I'm not gonna hold what you said against me. I'm not gonna forget that shit. You know what I mean?
So
You gonna always remember.
And if you're gonna downplay me to the point where it's disrespectful.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Where it's that, like,
Now you gotta clap back.
Yeah, now, when we get to that position where it's like, all right, but I held my tongue just out
Just
of love
enough.
and
Yeah.
out of, like some type of respect. But you want to like because I'm not with the rah and all the bullshit. Like right now, I'm focused on other things.
Right.
So I'm not gonna pay attention to that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like that's why let anybody can speak.
Yeah.
Anybody can talk. But now if it's gonna conflict my business,
Yeah.
if it's gonna conflict what my guys are working hard to
Yeah.
do, then I'm gonna defend them.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then we're gonna they see who I really, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But when it comes down to all of that, like, hey man, just keep on playing yourself. Like,
Yeah.
You keep on playing yourself.
Yeah.
You're gonna be like, yo, you thought you were.
Yeah.
Thought you were
I'll keep running it because
Yeah.
one day we'll have time.
Yeah.
Pray the day never comes, but one day we will.
Yeah. So every dog has his day, bro. That's just what it is.
But listen, man, thanks for being on. We got to do it again soon.
Most definitely.
Guys, come back and see us. We'll be back Monday afternoon, I think. I said 2:45. But, let us know in the comments. It'll be on YouTube. Same name, same channel. All that shenanigans. Feel free, share the video. And share it to somebody who needs it, man. That's the most important. That's why we do this. Share it to somebody who needs to hear this kind of shit. Because 2020 has taken out a lot. And we're just hoping to see people recover, man. Thanks for coming through, man. Thanks for being on, and we'll do it again soon, man.
Most definitely.
Take it easy, guys. Peace. 1, 2, 3.